Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 6 of the Formula 3 SRW series, sponsored by DSL Wedding Services. Tonight, we are at Snetterton, the UK circuit. Tonight, I'm also joined by Toddy and, of course, Shibby behind the camera. It's a circuit that, personally, I don't know too well, but not Shibby, Toddy said he's been doing a bit of research about it. Toddy, tell us all about it.
It is a very difficult little track, but a lot of fun in these cars. I think I've been loving this. Shivy did a couple of laps around here too, and he's been loving it. So this track's been almost convincing him to get into the rookie stages in the old racing and try and work his way up, see how far he can get once he gets shipped his new wheel also. So that'd be pretty cool. It's got quite a bit of history, this old track. So we will see it's quite flat. You don't see a hell of a lot of not a hell of a lot of elevation on it. So as we've seen a lot in the past of these European tracks, there's a few little elevations that will take people by surprise. But overall, not the most elevated track. So we'll see some pretty quick laps, I reckon.
Yeah, only a 43 meter altitude change, so not very much at all. I'm not sure if that's the altitude change overall or if that's just the altitude based on it. But there's a couple of bumps and things that, can catch you out if you're not careful. Track temperature, relatively same. A little bit hotter tonight, 35 degrees Celsius. 6-degree winds, not going to affect them too much. And yeah, it's about 5Ks a track. It's a pretty good track from what I've been watching. Don't own it just yet, but it is a pretty nice a track to watch for racing.
Yeah, especially when I think one of those things is that kind of Palmer turn 3, turn 4, Hamilton turn 5. They're always difficult little ones, and then you switch back in Ogies and turn 6 and back to the right again. I think it'll be very interesting to see how much toe people get in these little cars down the Bentley Straight, because it's a bloody long straight, mate, when you look at it. So they'll be able to, you'll see some big moves along there, hopefully. Get some through those tight sections of corners, and then down that straight, we'll see some overtaking through there, I'm sure.
I sure as hell hope so. One thing I've been wanting them to update in these F3 cars is get the DRS going. I'm pretty sure that the more recent F3 cars have DRS in them, so I've been waiting for iRacing to implement that somehow into these F3 cars, because it would be so much fun. Like these type of circuits, I'm more thinking like Silverstone as well. Like, you saw how much of the draft was so important there, but if there was DRS as well, it opens up a whole nother ball game of strategy and things like that. So will be interesting, especially with the F4 coming in with the next build update, so we'll be looking forward to that. Scotty Barton setting your pole lap time with a 1:43. Now, that's not the fastest time around here. Usually the lap times that they were setting was, I think, a 1:35, 1:36. I could be wrong, it might be a 1:38. So we'll see these guys definitely get quicker as this goes along, but a lot of them taking to the grass, maybe being caught out by some of these corners. It can be a little bit confusing sometimes. Our milk carton going off track there.
Yeah. One of our fellow co-hosts and an awesome driver and a great dude. Yeah, a lot of people getting caught by surprise on here. It's a pretty fast track, but it's quite narrow, as you see as well with this track. So even in these cars, they're not the biggest cars either, but it's quite narrow in sections. So I think that's what will take people by surprise, is that if you're a millisecond off on your braking point, you're not going to make the corner.
I think as well, when you can just watching Stefan go through some of these corners, they're very fast, sweeping corners, and those corners are very hard to go too wide, so it'll be interesting to see the type of battles that present themselves here. You can see the car could probably go 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 wide down the straight, so, there could be a little bit of chaos, but coming into here, the track tightens so quickly, and there's only really one line through that corner, so it'll be interesting to see the tactics that these guys use to get past, and where the passing opportunities present themselves, whether they'll be taken or not.
Yeah, and whether we go 4 into 1. Hopefully we don't see too many 4 into 1s, but, it is racing. Rubbing is racing, but no, not that much rubbing.
Yeah, I think tonight we're going to have to keep an eye on Scotty Barton. He, in practice, was absolutely flying up in the top 5. I think we'll definitely keep an eye on him tonight, but, you know, you've got to be careful. Adam Hughes, Skethan, and Alex, our resident top 3 here on SRW, absolutely blow it out the water every week, so definitely have to keep our eyes on them as well as they have their little battle at the front of the field. Alex had a bit of a rough week last week with having a bit of contact in a couple of the races that he had. I think he'll definitely go a bit cleaner here. I think this is more of a track that kind of suits him and his driving style.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's out for a bit of redemption as well also.
Very much. I think he might actually come in and correct me on that, but it'll be quite easy, I think, for him at least to defend here, because, you know, he is very, you know, that good at defending, and when there isn't too many lines through a corner, it makes it a little bit easier to defend. So be interesting to see. Greg Johnston in his Team Greg livery, the nice blue looking car. That's the Dynaco blue, as opposed to Greg Leake's Lightning McQueen.
Very nice, very nice. I'm loving that. That is so awesome. Love it.
That's just my personal naming, Shibby. It's not,
We'll
it's not
roll
an
with
official
it.
thing.
It's done now, yeah.
But yeah, it should be a good race tonight.
Should be very, very fun, I think.
There it is, first 138. Brett Wardby doing a 140, so just around a second slower. I know it looks like 2 seconds, but that is just a second slower than Scotty Barton. But no laps from our top 3, so we'll be interested to see how they shape up coming into the back end of this quali, or 7.5 minutes in.
Scotty Barton, I think, he was doing mid 138s in practice, so we'll see him. I'm sure we'll see people, or hopefully we'll see some people break the 138 mark tonight. In quali, you reckon? Dunno. Oh, okay, fair enough. We just had a dropout. Sorry, I was just waiting for a reply that wasn't coming. So on track, we're on with Greg Leake at the moment, and his nice, beautiful purple car. But curse of the commentator in the 71 there. He's just gotten a bit too much outside curb and spun it around there. Very easy to do in these cars. You can see a lot of these European tracks on the outside. They'll have that outside curb, but then they've got a bit of a green, kind of AstroTurf part on the outside of that. If you hit that, yeah, you don't want to hit that, essentially. You don't want to hit it, you want to hit it on the right angle. You want to use as much track as you can, but that piece there, see how it's got that green sort of AstroTurf part? If you don't hit that on the right angle, it will spin you around quite quickly, so you need to be very, very wary of that. We're on board with Scotty Barton here with our current preliminary pole at the moment, with a 138 for 846, so he was, and we've got Brett Wardby down with a 138.8 also. That's a brilliant lap. So we've got the top 3 now up into the 138s. We've got Stephen McCartan going another half a second quicker at 138.382. What a bloody lap that was. Come on, let's go. Nathan Verney in 4th with a 140.207. So we've got Nathan Verney gone another half a second faster than his last fastest lap. So very well done there for Locked On Racing and the number 282 car. He's done very well this season as well. He's had some battles throughout the pack. We got John McHenry next. We got J-Mac in 5th. He's done 140.9 there. He's done some beautiful laps there as well, so you should see him pick up the pace a bit once these tyres warm up also. Stephen McCartan is still up there with the fastest lap. We're on board here with Nathan Verney. So
I do apologise, everyone. I don't remember what I was saying 2 seconds ago. I do apologise for my technical difficulties. Had a bit of some internet troubles just sort of tonight, so apologies. Just what you were saying with that AstroTurf, I could hear everything that you were saying. Wow, that is extremely close. Alex Corp beating out Stephen McCartan by just 1,000th of a second. Very, very close. were you talking about that little green AstroTurf at the exit of the corners?
Yeah.
So that's more of a thing that is actually to the British tracks rather than the European. I've found. But Stefan's just actually knocked that time completely by 3/10. A wonderful lap from him. And Adam Hughes looking out of sorts. He's 2.5 seconds off the pace tonight. So Nathan Burney setting a very good lap. P5, he's improved on his last time, but still got about 1.5 seconds to gain again. So we'll be watching these guys contently to see what they do.
And I'm sure the 137's coming soon. I'm sure from somebody.
If Stefan can do a 38 flat, then the 37 is definitely on the cards. We might even have a mid 37 here if the track continues speeding up like it has been. Troy Dooley now coming into. I don't even want to say what turn it is because I've got no idea. Comes through a little bit of hairpin. Coming through Palmer.
So Palmer's turn 3.
Turn 3, and then we've got turn 4, which is left-hander.
Turn 4 is Augustini.
Okay.
And then Hamilton is number 5.
That was recently named the Hamilton corner, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Quite a recent addition to the Snetterton circuit.
Also, and then we come back on the right, which is Oggies. Come back through Oggies. Back through the right-hander. Then when you come back onto Bentley Straight, that corner there is Williams. And Bentley Straight is a nice big straight that goes down to Brundell. You go left down into Brundell and then right onto the turn 10 is Nelson. Turn 11 is Bomb Hole. That's not Bum Hole, that's Bomb Hole.
Am I still here? Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Hello? Yes, you're here.
Sorry, cutting in and out again.
Oh, apologies. Having some. So this is coming down Bentley Straight here.
It's a very long, wide straight. So this is, I think, going to be a big overtaking place. But then you have, this left-hander is really just the one line because you got to trail brake all the way through it and then get the car around the right-hander. So you can see these boys doing a little bit of drafting. That's Dean in the distance and Stefan closest to your screen. Sinkovich brothers.
And as you come down through Brundle after the Bentley Straight, this one, Nelson, right there. Such a difficult one when you're trying to change the weight distribution of the car almost as well, and you're topping out after that straight. What you kind of have to do there is be trail braking and then sort of let off and back on the brake to really get the car turned around. It's a very interesting car to drive. It's got a bit of a trick to it. There are some little, tips and tricks that you pick up along the way, but it is one of those cars that does have its own little quirks and features. Yeah, you use the downshift rotation and that downshift sort of oversteer to your advantage almost.
You got to be careful with that downshift oversteer because it can send you into a spin easily. If you get on the throttle too quickly, the revs will clock out and those rear tires will either lock up or spin. So you got to be quite careful. Yeah, it is a very fine line. This is a lovely nose cam view. We get to see it on the front wing.
That is.
Got a couple of new cameras this week as Chevy's got a new camera pack, which is going to provide us with some awesome shots tonight. So very much looking forward to that, and I hope you guys at home are as well. If you are watching along at home, make sure to like and subscribe to all of our socials. That's Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, follow, share, everything. We want to be shared around. We want more people getting involved. So if you guys want to get involved, everything, all links are in the description. So be sure to check us out.
Notification bells so you stay up to date with everything, everybody.
Thank you for that one. I forgot about it.
No, all good. That's the one I forget about as well. And I was like, if he doesn't get it, I'll get it. Nice.
No, Scotty Barton, was that lap faster? Doesn't look like it. Alex Court has set the 137.8 to So there's that 37. It's a high 137. I reckon the boys can go quicker than that, though. There's definitely time in it. Will be interesting to see what Stefan can do with that. Robbie Griffith 7/10 behind, so it's it's extremely close between those guys. So Robbie Griffith, Scott Barton, and Brett Wardby all within a 10th of each other. Following him is Nathan Verney, Dean Sigovich, and Adam Hughes all the way down in P8. So not sure what's going on with him, but we'll definitely keep an eye on him to see if he does go quicker. This is Robbie Griffiths now on your screen, going through the couple of corners we were talking about before. Yeah, you can see using that back end sort of stepped out to the left, so you can get that car turned to the right. So yeah, you're exactly right there, Toddy, getting that downshift oversteer to turn the car around. Definitely helpful for these guys.
And trying to keep it on that edge that's a difficult one. Is kind of because you have to drive these things on the edge, but that edge can.
Yeah, to get all the time out of them, you really have to drive them on the edge, and it is such a fine line that I have both crossed and not gone far enough to. Having driven the car myself.
Sometimes the latter is worse. Sometimes, eh?
I'd rather finish the race having not spun out than overdrive the car personally. But I know some people would rather say different. So there it is, Brett Wardby as well. You could really see how wide that car was getting into that corner. That might just have been the camera angle, but it is a little trick in these cars that you really have to use the downshifts to your advantage.
Yeah, I agree with your earlier comment about the DRS. That would be awesome in these cars, and the F3s and stuff like that would be would just add a different element, wouldn't it? Just an extra element. It
just adds that little bit of strategy that you want in these open wheeler cars. You want something to make them stand out a little bit more than just your base car that you send around with the setup and all that kind of stuff. You want to have something that can give you an advantage if you're in the slipstream. And with a track like Zolder, which last week, I know they didn't race there, but with a track that is so small like that and it makes it hard to overtake, it's quite interesting to bring in DRS on a track like that, because where would you have it, how long would it be, that type of thing.
Yeah, could it open other previously impossible passing opportunities because of DRS? It could, because of those almost could open up new opportunities, a little bit of DRS and on tighter track to be able to try and get past somebody or use it to your advantage.
Yeah, exactly right.
Peter Morris down in 12th there. He's one to watch. He's got some really good racecraft. He's quite patient in the race, so he's normally one that can be chip his way up. So he will be one to watch, one to surge through the field, I'm sure.
Sorry,
Peter Morris. Sorry.
What's tomorrow? Sorry, my flatmate was in my room. He's just left.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't I?
No.
Oh, my apologies.
You're talking to me. No,
sorry, everyone. I thought I swear I pressed the button. My apologies.
Oh, look at that, Peter Morris's helmet as well. Have you seen Peter Morris's helmet? He's got eyes on his helmet. That is crack up. That is quite funny. He's got eyes on his helmet. Oh, it is too. Yeah, it is too.
Futurama.
Oh, Bender helmet. That's
quite good.
So awesome.
He's had a bit of a spin, bit of a slide out. So that's what I'm talking about there. Is you have to get the car slowed down enough so that you don't understeer as well at the same time. So it is a fine line indeed.
That's definitely. If you get too much on that AstroTurf on the outside, it's very taxing on the car, because you think you've got it and you're using all the track, and if you got a touch too far.
AstroTurf is actually pretty alright to drive on. It's sort of finding the line of whether AstroTurf meets the grass. You have to be quite careful.
Yeah,
rather than
like
the
you
actual
see here.
AstroTurf itself. Yeah, right there, that's perfectly fine. That's actually a perfect line there for
that was
Nathan.
Perfect, yeah.
Through that corner as he comes through the fast left-right that we have seen. I reckon this corner right here is going to cause absolute strife for the drivers tonight. There's going to be probably an incident here, maybe somebody going a bit too deep, maybe too wide. as they come through bomb hole. Bomb hole. That's
hole.
so bad.
That's so bad, isn't it?
That's such British humor, though.
I should have. Oh no, it's. So I should have changed that corner name to Hamilton, right? No. Oh. Didn't say that.
Oh, that's dangerous. You're playing with fire there, mate. You are playing with fire.
Didn't say that. All respect for all people. Yeah.
So.
Here we go, Mr. Sinkovic, Steven Sinkovic in 14th, and with his fastest lap being 1:43.611.
Will he get across the line is my question. There's not long left. He's going to come across the line now. He's gone quicker. Where is this going to put him on the leaderboard? It will be P14, so unable to improve on his position, but he does improve on his time, so... The times are quite spread out tonight, but there is a definite overtaking opportunity down that straight. So we will definitely have a race on our hands. Now, what's the format for tonight, Toddy?
40 minutes. 40-minute race.
Just the 1 40-minute race?
Yeah.
As always for the F3s.
As always for the F3s.
I always forget that the F3s don't actually change. It's just
the
Porsche Cups. And the supercars. So Alex Court, of course, taking out that pole position tonight with a 1:37.866 for After Dark Sim Racing. An astounding lap from him. Wow. 1.5 tenths behind him, Stefan McCartan for Chris Cross. Usual to see those boys 1-2. Scotty Barton for After Dark Sim Racing is down in P3. A great lap from him. He's overtaken Robbie Griffiths for Fishing Motorsports. And looks like tonight we actually have a rolling start. So that's an interesting thing that we haven't seen yet. Brett Wardby P5, Nathan Verney P6 for Locked On Racing. Adam Hughes down in P7. Very uncharacteristic from him. Dean Sinkovic P8, that's something we always love to see. We want to see him in the top 5.
Top 10 again.
Tonight. Troy Dooley and John McHenry rounding out the top 10.
Look at that. And top 10 from 11th, Callan Hodgkinson, Peter Morris, Greg Johnson in 13th, Steven Sinkovic in 14th, Greg Lake in 15th, George Minus in 16th, and Scotty Rankin in our
That is
safety
our
car.
safety car, yes. So these boys are going to start their laps a little bit later. I'm not too sure why we don't have a standing start. Well, I'm sure we'll get the information as soon as it comes through.
It may be one of those, as we were talking about earlier, that it is a very, very tight track, and it could be quite hazardous. On cold tyres, first lap, so it might be one of those things. Awesome.
Yeah, not too sure. I've asked. I'll see what we get back. Oh my god, I got hiccups now. I do apologize.
Okay. Coming up first with... So
we're getting ready to go green. We've got the lights on the screen. So they'll come to a rolling start. And it will be up to Alex Court to lead them away as to how quick or late he wants to go. I'm sure he'll actually go late, given it is a straight. And we'll see. Oh, this lovely new gearbox cam that we've got. Absolutely beautiful.
Let's give away. Very, very cool looking livery. Very shiny. DSL welding Dragonrc car there.
How's that? Second look at chopper cam. As there we go, Alex Court has pulled away. There it is. So he is away and racing here for round 6 at Snetterton here in the UK on SRW TV, brought to you by DSO Welding. Alex Court leading them away through turn 1. He gets away nice and cleanly. They're too wide all the way back. I'm not sure who this is. It's a crisscross. It's a Fishing Motorsport car. The 80 car, I believe that is Robbie Griffiths, the 80 car, or Brett Wardby. No, it is Robbie Griffiths. I was right the first time. He's chasing down Scotty Barton. Brett Wardby behind him. Scotty Barton got a lovely jump off the start, holding his P3, and Robbie Griffiths is in P4. So Scotty Barton in that qualifying was able to jump Robbie Griffiths and get out of the Fishing Motorsport sandwich, but Stefan McCartan and Alex Court are going to start to pull away, and these two are going to have an absolute treat of a battle on our hands tonight.
All these boys are fast, and they're faster than these cars around here, so going to be very, very interesting. Hopefully we don't see too many mistakes and we just see lots of really fast, quick racing.
I think that's exactly what we're going to see. You can see just how close Stefan is. This is a beautiful suspension cam, and now we've got our new cockpit sort of cam. And you can see how the draft pulls, and so, you know, braking so early, you know, trying to just go safe on the first lap. You can see there Alex caught running wide, so Stefan playing it safe, probably the smarter option there, but then he runs a little bit wide, so this is going to be a battle that is race long, I think. This is going to be a definite battle to watch as we drop back. Adam Hughes has had a horrible start down to P10, so he sort of got jumped on the line, and it'll be interesting to see if he can claw his way back into the top 5 and get back onto that podium.
He's dropped, he started in the 7th place, so he's dropped 3 places there, so I'm sure it's well within his power. He's got a lot of pace, so I'm sure he'll be able to work his way up. But as we know, as racers and stuff like that, sometimes it's just not your day, and sometimes... Oh.
Adam Hughes has an off-track, is what Shibby is telling us. Have we got a replay for that, Shibby? We do indeed, a DSL Welding Services action replay. So yeah, this is the exact corner I was talking about. He's taken it way too hot, and he's gone off track. And Sinkovic, Callan Hodgkinson, and I believe Nathan Verney were able to take those positions back from him as we come back live. Thank you, DSL Welding, for that action replay. No, sorry, we're still on a replay with Robbie Griffiths, I believe. We are back live, sorry. Apologies.
So he's got his teammate behind him now, Adam Hughes.
Callan Hodgkinson, and that's Adam Hughes going off again behind him. So maybe he hasn't got the practice that he wanted to get in here. I know that the Porsche Cup cars and the supercars are actually at Le Mans this week, and the F3s didn't really, they don't really work around Le Mans. There's not too much actual action going on, so it's a bit of an interesting one. So they decided to take it to Snetterton, which is a lovely track for F3. It's one of the more run tracks in the official series, so it's a lovely shot as we get this beautiful shot down the pit straight. Alex Court leading them away. Scotty Barton in P3. He's chasing down Stefan McCartan, and he is right on his tail. This could definitely be an opportunity for an After Dark Sim Racing 1-2. Can Scotty Barton make this move and make it stick? We will have to wait and see, but this could get really, really interesting.
Very intense sandwich he's got himself in the middle of right now, so I'm sure Stefan's got enough pace to keep him off, but I wouldn't like to have Mr. Button behind me chasing me, to be honest.
Scott seemed to have found a lot of pace this week. I think recently he's found that he's wanted to prove himself, and he's certainly doing so at the moment. That's a beautiful camera switch, Shibby. Love your work, mate.
Very nice. Hell yeah.
It's just a beautiful cam, and see that draft that Stefan's actually getting from Alex as well, just in front. That's helping him immensely defend from Scott Barton. Scott braking at that second board that you see. Oh, he's hit that sausage curve. That's not going to be good for the suspension. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time. Robbie Griffiths is right behind him, and he's looking to capitalize on that mistake, Robbie Griffiths. This is going to be a battle for P1 and a battle for P3, I reckon. What are the intervals looking like, and the gaps? Let's have a look, shall we? Stefan McCartan setting a fastest lap, but no, Brett Wardby steals it from him, a 1:39.864, a 10 quicker than Stefan McCartan. As yeah, you can see that battle for P3 really heating up. Two Fishy Motorsports cars attacking Scotty Barton for After Dark Sim Racing. This is going to heat up. There's definitely going to be some teamwork going on here, and this is going to be very, very interesting.
These guys will definitely be looking to work together and put some pressure on here.
100% Toddy, exactly right. And Scotty Barton's going to want to try and get away and maintain his just outside of that slipstream range of Stefan McCartan, and with Robbie and Brett behind him, both within that draft range, he's going to be under attack here. And in the next couple of laps, he may be having to relinquish that position and fight very hard for it.
Yeah, make that little car very, very wide through these little narrow corners, and try and.
One there.
Oh, J-Max, see the J-Max come off the track and he's had to pit, so we'll go to a bit of a replay of that, guys.
Once again, DSL Welding Services action replay, and John, I think, yeah. So there it is.
See, that's exactly where it ends. Yeah,
that's exactly right. So that AstroTurf sort of bounces and knocks the car up. That may have given him a bit of floor damage, maybe a bit of suspension damage. As Brett Wardby seems to be kind of dropping off from this pack. The draft is definitely helping him though. He's getting back into it. They come round the hairpin.
They're managing to stay on the back of Scotty Barton here. Scotty Barton will be trying to lose these guys in these twisty corners before they get to the straight. The last thing he wants is them tailing him down that massive straight.
Yeah, exactly right. He's going to want to pull away as much as possible. Now, someone who is pulling away currently is Alex Court out in first. There's a second gap to Stefan McCartan behind. And Stefan is going to want to find somewhere that he's quicker than Alex and really capitalize on it, because he needs to get back into that draft. Of course, there is still our pit stops to go. We're almost 10 minutes in. Those pit stops, you'll start to see it as we come into about, 15, 20, 25 minutes in is usually where the pit stops go. But we did see, that extended pit stop time, I suppose, or length stint. What's the word I'm looking for? Not too sure at the moment. I'll find it. That extended stint where they go a bit longer seems to sometimes work for these guys in the F3. So we'll see how the strategies play out.
Yeah, it's, especially on these British tracks and the European tracks, you see a lot of mixed, I suppose, attack approaches to people's races. And as we saw with a lot of the other races as well, a lot of these guys come up with their strategy on the fly. They kind of have 2 or 3 in their heads, and they kind of make a decision around what other people have made decisions around them on track as well. We'll see,
exactly right. Alex Court, sorry, I don't know if you were about to say this. Alex Court and Stefan McCartan doing almost the exact same lap once again. We saw it in quali, them do almost identical laps, and they've just done it again. I think Stefan McCartan had the quicker lap by 1,000th of a second again. So these guys are almost equal on pace as Stefan is starting to get that lap down. Yeah, you can see, so both purple, so that might just be an SDK error. And it really is going to come down to a nail biter. These two cannot be separated. This is going to be an absolutely awesome battle for the lead all race long.
It's 1,000th of a second. So we had 1,000th of a second difference in qualifying, and then we had 1,000th of a second difference in laps in race. I don't think it gets any closer than that.
Yeah,
I
don't think it does at all. You can see Robbie Griffiths is now really putting the pump down to Scott Barton, who makes a mistake there. That's an unforced error. He's not able to get back on track. They're going to go side by side. But there's a little bit of contact there. Robbie Griffiths getting a little bit of contact with Scott Barton, and I'm not sure I don't believe that was intentional at all. I think that was maybe just an error from one of the drivers. I don't know who, but that is unfortunate for Scotty Barton, who was looking to have a good race. We'll get a DSL Welding Services action replay. Toddy, as you can call it.
I think it seemed to me that he's kind of turned in, but didn't realise how close he was.
Yeah, it looks like, it does look like Scott just didn't actually see him there, which is unfortunate. Scott was having a good race. He's down in P10 now. Might have to take that pit stop early because he might have some suspension damage or wheel alignment damage. But Robbie Griffiths will take that P3. It doesn't look like he's got any damage, so he's come away pretty healthy from that one. He's got Brett Wardby behind him, though, his teammate, and these two, I think, will work together to then catch the boys in front. What do you think, Toddy?
Yeah, and Brett Wardby...
Big lock-up.
Oh, big lock-up. And Brett Wardby did well to stay out of that as well, I think. Brett Wardby could have got tangled up on that very, very easily. So he was further enough behind that he could give it enough brakes and stay out of it without getting caught up in it as well. It was very fortunate on him. So those guys will definitely be trying to push towards the front now.
Yeah, here's Steven Sinkovic, our SRW, one of our owners of the league and broadcasting team. Driving a good race.
One position currently.
Dean Sinkovic, can we cut to him, please? P6 at the moment. He's got Adam Hughes behind him. He's got Adam Hughes behind him, and he's doing absolutely incredible. Look at this. So all driving from him.
Yeah.
So that's the spot where we saw the contact. Oh my God.
There's the commentator.
Oh, there's the commentator's curse again. Adam Hughes dropping that gap to Dean right now, as Dean is putting in a lovely drive for P6, and I reckon he can get into the top 10. Stephen McCartan doing a 138.6, so an incredibly fast lap from him. That draft is really showing on those lap times how crucial it is to stay within that gap.
Draft and hot tyres. They're really nicely in their tyre windows now, so we should see some. You think we'll see some 37s? We might even see some low 37s with the draft.
Possibly. We might see a 37, but that was a high 38 that Stefan set. But that's still with a lot of fuel in the car, so we'll see how these lap times will continue to drop because of the fuel load dropping as well. So we'll definitely see how this plays out, Toddy.
Yeah, especially with that fuel load getting a lot lower and tyres getting a bit sketchier and things like that. So, but also there's a lot of really nice temperature in this track today. So hopefully that temperature remains in the track and we stay with a lot of grip on here as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Temperatures don't usually change too much. I know we had a 35-degree track for qualifying. Shibby, are you able to bring that up? The track info at the moment, not the big one, but just the little sidebar one. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm sure he'll get it up in a moment. Robbie Griffiths pulls into the pits early, so he might have actually caught some damage from that incident there. So it'd be maybe a tactical pit stop. There it is. So yeah, still that. It's a 23-degree track temp, so it's actually a lot colder than it was in quali. That was a 35-degree track temp in quali, so this is definitely a much more well-suited race temperature for the track. Much more well-suited to 23 degrees around that mark.
A lot easier to keep your tyre pressures throughout race a bit more consistent.
Yeah.
Also.
A lot easier to keep the tyre pressures, tyre temperatures as well, I think. So, it's a lot harder to sort of overheat them. Makes it, it can be a little bit hard to get them up to temperature, but, over the long run, those tyres are able to go a lot longer than if it was, that 35 degrees. So I reckon you might be right. We might actually see that 37, that low 37 because of that low temperature.
Oh, that'd be still pretty cool if we do. That'd be pretty epic. Especially in these little things.
Yeah, Troy Dooley on your screen now. He's driving a little drive. How many positions is he up?
Yeah, Troy Dooley is up 2 positions at the moment. He's had a really good drive.
Yeah, not a bad drive from him. That standing start's quite different, to what we usually have the standing starts, which, they can take a while to perfect. So maybe caught a couple of them off guard, and we can see now Dean Sinkovic is up into P5.
Oh, come on, son.
Adam. And
his 4th position on Sunday night. He might even make...
Yeah, because of Robbie Griffiths, not that Robbie Griffiths. Apologies, Robbie. Didn't mean to objectify you like that. Because of Robbie Griffiths' pit stop, he's able to jump into P5. And he's holding it off. This is now Alex Court and Stefan McCartan having a little battle at the front. We're really starting to heat up. Stefan is getting very, very close to that rear wing. Will he make a move? Probably in the next couple of laps. I think he might try and undercut Alex, but Alex is not an easy dropper to undercut. He can really stretch that fuel out and really stretch those tires as well. So it's going to be an interesting strategy to see how it plays out, see whose engineer is on top of it tonight.
I'm just completely amazed. These guys are battling like it's lap 1, and we're almost halfway through the race. It's insane. That's a testament to these guys' skill, to be honest.
These two, I think we can call it a little rivalry, because every single series that these two are involved in, they are 1, 2, 2, 3, or you know, thereabouts, and they've had some coming together. It's sort of been a little bit, you know, like the Hamilton Verstappen at Monza type thing. So, you know, Alex Court as well, you know, being a Hamilton fan, we can call him Hamilton, and Stefan, we can call him Verstappen, I suppose, if they're all right with that. We see Dean Sinkovic now. He's catching Nathan.
Absolutely.
Is he going to be able to make the move from P4? Come on, son. We want to see it. Hold off, Adam. Make the move on Nathan.
Come on,
If Dean ends up, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. We can wait. I'm not saying anything. So we're coming to 17 minutes now, so there's 23 minutes to go. We're starting to come into that pit stop window, so we'll start to see some of these boys come into the pits as Dean's doing some absolutely flying laps here, really on the rear end of Nathan Burney, and Adam Hughes has made a little bit of a mistake behind. He's dropping all the way back. I'm not sure if we can get a DSL action replay. He's dropped almost 7 seconds now.
Is he got a problem?
Possibly a mechanical issue. Yeah. We'll get a DSL Learning Services action replay. Just coming through the corner. Power. Too much power. So yeah, I'm
those rear tires are getting a bit worn now.
I'm going to put Adam's performance down to a lack of practice. I'm sure he'll correct me on that.
A distaste for this track. Sometimes you just get a track you just don't like. I've got certain tracks I just really don't like, and sometimes if you don't really like a track, you just can't really put it together. Sometimes that's in my opinion, but you know.
I mean, you're exactly right. I think some of the tracks. I think this would be one of those tracks. I know Alton Park is one of those as well. Brands Hatch as well. I can't. These British tracks, I can't piece it together around there. Donington as well. I struggle with sometimes. So.
Yeah,
you know, there are a couple.
Camber kind of exit and funny corners sometimes. A lot of the British tracks, and yeah, they do. They're unlike any other kind of design of track around the world, I think, and that's what kind of takes a lot of people.
Oh, side by side, Steph McCartan, look for the switchback. I'm sorry.
It's still battle. This
take
is
it away,
insane.
take it away, Tony. I'm going to die for a second.
Oh, mate, this is amazing. This is going to be amazing to see how these guys pit and what sort of strategy and how far these guys are going to stay out. Because I reckon these guys are going to keep this battle on for another couple of laps and try and push until they've just got nothing left out of these tyres and fuel, and try and push each other to see who's going to break first. That's going to be the answer. Whoever breaks first.
Yeah, who makes that mistake?
Yeah.
It's going to be an unforced mistake from one of these two, possibly overdriving the car. It's going to come right down to the wire. Who jumps into the pits first? You can see a little bit of a wobble from Stefan there. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. He's down to just over 5/10 behind, but that draft's going to pull him right back into it. Sorry, I did just choke on my own saliva before, so I did just die for a second.
Yeah, I thought so. You got a bit excited.
I had a little gasp, and was getting ready to go hard at it, and I got too excited. So, my apologies. Thanks for taking it away.
Mate, understandable. No, all good. Oh, what a battle here, guys! This is incredible for this to be such a battle still and be so close.
That's
20
what
minutes
the F3
into a race.
provides, man. That's what the F3 provides. It's those cars. They can stick together in the draft. You see these guys come through your screen now. Coming into turn 1, they're going to brake quite late as they come through the sweeping right-hander all the way down the straight to the hairpin. And Stefan is trying to line out that move. That is...
just with a bit of spin on that hairpin. Coming back on the track, one of the just being lap there, I believe.
Greg Johnston,
sorry.
No, that's all right. This is sort of the only battle that's really happening at the moment. We haven't got any real pit stops coming along. George Minus has overtaken John McHenry, who is having a little bit of may have had an off there to be overtaken like that, but He's trucking along. Dean looks to have, like, he's possibly made a mistake. He was catching Nathan Verney, who's now dropped 7 seconds, and he's dropping back even further. So could maybe see a pit stop from him this lap to maybe gain some of that time back and just get it out of the way. We can see Robbie Griffiths, the only driver in the top 10 to have stopped at the moment. John McHenry and Scotty Barton. Scotty Barton having made 2 stops already, so interesting.
Yeah. And Greg Johnson with the 2 stops as well, which is obviously a bit of an off. Yes, no centre to get a couple of repairs. Have a look at that.
Yeah, exactly right. George Minus into the pits. Team Greg. He's running the 2006 Renault livery.
That's a very nice looking livery.
It is a very nice livery. No complaints here. From the comms box, as Alex Court does a 38.7, 2/10 slower with Stefan McCartan that time. So, and he looks to be like he's dropping back. Was there maybe a mistake from Stefan? No, he's gaining that time back. So, this is really a battle that is heating up, and this is going to go right down to the wire. I think whoever pits first is going to be whoever is down to that pit stop. So,
and then. Okay, guys, I'm going to go a bit of an action replay to the action at the front of the field here, guys, from before against Stefan McCartan and Alex Court. And this little overtake on the switchback.
oh, did he get it to work, or is this the one earlier?
Look at that.
Oh, this is the...
Come on, son. These guys, very respectful racing. Very, very fast, very respectful racing here from both of them.
Alex Court's really getting alongside him now. There's a 10th between these two. We're just watching John McHenry now. They are right on top of each other. Stefan cuts to the inside. Alex is placing that car absolutely perfectly, making it 3-4 car lengths wide. And this is really heating up. This is, oh, beautiful. Keep it right there. You can see the draft coming on. Stefan gets a much better exit. He's going to pull to the outside, and they're going to go side by side, coming through this long, sweeping right-hander on turn 1. How does it go? Alex is able to defend beautifully up the inside. He's able to really keep that foot flat. And Stefan looking for the switchback once again. Is he able to get it? He's alongside. They're going very, very close to each other, and he just needs just that little bit more. These two are absolutely nip and tuck for pace. They are side by side. There's nothing to separate these two.
Absolutely. What a battle. Who's going to pit first? Oh, who's going to run out of tyres first is probably more the question, right?
I think Stefan will gamble and pit first, I think Stefan's going to take the gamble and go first and try and get that undercut. But, you know, Alex isn't easy. But, you know, actually, now that I say it, Stefan is going to be able to have actually preserved some fuel, having actually sat behind Alex.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it might have been, actually, this might have been part of the long game, right, already.
Exactly right. So it might actually be Alex who jumps into the pits first, and we'll definitely see. Maybe if Alex jumps into the pits, Stefan might just jump in as well. So this is going to come right down to the wire. We're 25 minutes in now, so 15 minutes remain. There is a compulsory pit stop. These guys have to stop in this race. If they do not, they will be given a penalty. But the top 5 haven't pit. Adam Hughesday, Dean Sinkovich, Nathan Verney, Stefan McCartan, and Alex Court all have not stopped. So it's going to be very interesting. They don't go into the pits just yet, so this is going to continue
stand off in the top 5.
This is going to continue to be a battle. These two not wanting to stop battling, it seems, as the draft is going to pull Stefan McCartan down the straight. He's going to go for it once again, braking late, trying to get the switchback on the inside. And
I think on the 4th, 5th attempt, I think he might be able to get that one to stick, maybe.
It looks like they're just so even on pace that Stefan just can't find a way around him, and it's not a lack of skill or anything like that. It's just these guys are too evenly matched on pace that there isn't that overspeed that you get in these cars to be able to actually pass. But Stefan is right on the back of Alex Court. and we should see a move very, very close. There it is!
Oh,
on the
look at that! That was an under.
Oh, no, he spun! There it is!
And is he got a bit of brass on the inside and spun it to the
I
outside?
think he
That's
has.
what it seemed
Maybe
like.
the rear's, maybe the rear's locked up, and that is very unfortunate for Stefan McCartan. I think I was seeing Scott Barton in front of him. Let's get a DSL action replay on that from a couple of angles. I think we can afford to have a look. I think Stefan was maybe a bit frustrated and just decided to dive up the inside, as we can have a lovely view of it here. You saw him pop to the left. It was a very late move it was a big lunge up the inside. And yeah, so those rears can lock up, and that's the risk you run when you're trying to get that oversteer turn, as you were talking about in qualifying. And there it is.
With worn tires and with a lot less fuel than they've had in for the rest of the race. So yeah, unfortunate.
It is very, very unfortunate indeed.
But he does still keep his second place.
Yeah, he will keep the second place. So, that shows the speed of these guys. So there you go, right up the inside, trying to get the car turn. And you could just see, it was as soon as he dropped the gear. So that's what I was talking about. Yeah,
he was dropping the gear and he was braking, but he broke. And while he was braking, he broke on the curb also. So that's what
I was talking. No, Dean, no! No, Dean! No!
This is when he needs a DRS button. Just get out of this. Like it didn't happen.
How could you do such a thing to me? No, it's okay. He's still running P6. Robbie Griffith now is
beautiful.
Look at Adam Hughes. So just what I was saying. So what I was saying before is you have to be careful when downshift. You can lock the brakes. So that's what happened there. So because he was on the brakes and he just ran in too far, he was also turning as well. The rears couldn't cope and they locked up, and it just turns you. The revs cap out and it just turns you. You have to actually just keep it in third gear and try and get the car slowed down. It's an interesting move.
Because if you're going down a second, you get the rotation, and then you're true.
Yeah,
because you've got that extra torque, right?
Over rotation is basically what happened. But hat off to you, Stefan. It was definitely a ballsy move, and no one's saying it's your fault.
And he had to make it. Yeah, he had to make it.
I'm sure that everyone would agree that move was going to be there to be made, whether it was on or not. So
and no man in any race car could ever say he wouldn't have made it.
Instead of 38.5, so that's an even faster lap than he set before. And Nathan Verney now going into the pits. We'll see how that goes, as that's a bit of an incident there. Adam Hughes goes off and almost Robbie Griffiths as well. We'll see what race control thinks of that. He's gone very wide to hold that position, but I think he'll give it to Robbie Griffiths. Adam Hughes just hasn't seemed to have found the pace tonight. Unfortunate for him, but it's been a good race so far. Robbie Griffiths is really hounding him, and that could have been an unforced error, but I think that may have been a backmarker error as well. So we'll see how this goes. Adam Hughes crossed the line in P4. Nathan Verney was able to pit and come out of the pit lane in front of Adam Hughes and Robbie Griffiths. So a very nice gap that he had. So
very nicely done.
Very much so split cars.
Bit of a master stroke there. So these guys are oh no! Curse of the commentator again. Apologies, Nathan.
It's okay. Nathan's got a big enough gap, I think, that he's able to hold on to the position.
Yeah, true.
Adam Hughes has had an incident, so he's dropping back position after position. We'll get a DSL Learning Services action replay. Is that the same corner? No, it's not. It's the hairpin again. Yep, so that you can see that rear end starting to step out, and sometimes you just can't control it. It's a matter of either just going into the spin or overcorrecting. It's very hard to control a spin in these. But so that was Alex caught into the pits, and there it is. So Stefan does stay out, and we've got 10 minutes left. So Stefan's going to have to come into the pits sooner rather than later, as Alex Court comes out of the pits 20 seconds behind. So judging by the gap that Stefan had, so it's about a 25-second pit lane time. Correct me if I'm wrong, boys.
Yeah, about 25 seconds, which is quite short. So he's actually done well to save quite a bit of fuel and things like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty impressive.
6.8 second actual pit stop and a 29-second total pit lane time. So can definitely do a fast stop if he's onto it, Stefan. I reckon now's gonna be when he needs to pull the trigger. It's going to be within the next 2 or 3 laps. He's going to need to pull the trigger and jump into the pits as Nathan Bernier is now hunting Adam Hughes. Sorry, Nathan dropped a couple of positions. I believe that is from his pit stop. So apologies.
Crash,
or was it from the pit stop? Or no, this is Adam Hughes who's had an incident. Oh, so yeah, Nathan. Yeah, so Nathan had another spin, it looks like, just on the final corner. So he's having a bit of a race. You can see him weaving there, sort of saying, you know, there you go, mate, have the position. Scotty Barton's having a look at John McHenry out the back. You can see where, if he's going to have a look up into the hairpin, he's getting very, very close to John. Is he going to have a look up the inside? He's going to be very, very close. He's going to stick behind him and let John go deep. Little lock up there. You can see the little bit of smoke from the left-hand front as Scott Barton just sticks behind and says, you know, go on, son. I'll stick with you.
You got this. I'm about to go to the pits. I think they might be both pitting, and they both know that they're both pitting, so they're both just kind of taking it easy and just going, we both need to get there. So.
No, they're both pit, so they're both
already pit.
Okay,
stop. Yeah.
So Adam and Stefan are the ones who haven't pit as of yet, but Stefan's actually stepping that lap 22, so it's not just on yet. It's going to be very, very close if he pits now. If he gets up front, it might just be, you know, that 3-second gap, 4-second gap we saw before Alex pit, but it looks like Stefan's actually pulling away from Alex, so, you know, that we will have to wait and see.
And I think possibly Stefan might have saved a bit more fuel and tyres there, trailing Alex for more than half the race, so now he's using the lesser half of the race to make it count, I think, possibly.
Yeah, exactly right.
Josh McCartan out in first, still out, no pit still. He's going another lap. Wow, that's ambitious. We've got 7 minutes left in the race, 6.5 minutes left in the race.
Yeah, he's going to have to pit soon. Maybe he's forgotten about the pit stop. He's trying to extend it as far as possible. As he is extending the gap on Alex, he's really pulling that gap still on old tyres. So this is some incredible driving from Stefan tonight. This is an absolute masterclass that he's putting on. You know, still pulling away from Alex Scott, who has pit on the freshest compound and with less fuel. So this is some awesome, awesome driving from Stefan tonight.
Amazingly got that thing dialed in, doesn't he?
Yeah, you know, he's found his groove and he's found his zone. You know, he's locked into his zone tonight, and he's driving the absolute balls out of that car.
Yeah, driving the wheels on it.
And that's a fastest lap, a 138.398 from Robbie Griffiths. That's a quality lap right there. So
it doesn't look like he's under any draft either. So.
And that's a 10th of Stefan's time. So once Stefan comes into the pits, I reckon we will see a possible 38 flat or a 37. So we will have to see. Does he come into the pits now? He goes wide. Oh. He runs a little wide. That may cost him. That's going to cost him touch of time. He doesn't come into the pits. Stefan, you need to pit, mate. Wow. There is 5 minutes left in this race. So, you know, about 2 or 3 laps to go. He needs to pit.
Wow. That's insane.
He's trying to...
I think he went to go over the line. He was like, I've got a second on him. I'm just going to go again.
Yeah, I think he really is just pushing that car as far as it can go until he starts losing time. It looks like this is the lap that he will need to go in. Looks like now he's losing some time. We're just watching Adam Hughes in P4, who also hasn't gone into the pits. Will be interesting to see where he comes out after his pit stop. Will Dean It looks like Dean actually might be able to jump him under pit stops. Please, I just want a top 5 for one of the Sinkovic brothers.
Oh, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, SRW team.
Come on, boys. You got this. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Sing it, Toddy.
Yeah.
Sing it, mate.
No, I'll stop there. You don't want to listen to mine. You don't want to listen to my voice, mate. Yeah. Mr. Dooley with the Aussie flag on the front of the car there. Loud and proud. Loving it. It's actually really refreshing to have some series around these European and British tracks and stuff. It's it really mixes it up for everybody because people are a lot more used to a lot of different tracks and stuff like Snetterton and other tracks that people don't really tend to race much.
Here it is, stepping into the pits. So there it is. This is what I was saying. Sorry, I interrupted you, Toddy. There it is, stepping into the pits. That is the trigger pull. Is Alex Court going to be able to catch him under pit stop? Here it is. He's coming down the pit straight. Is Stefan going to be able? He's on the pit exit. Is he able to maintain the position? It's going to be very, very close out of the pits.
Oh no, he's just missed it.
Stefan's able to get it, but he's back within the second. He's back within a second. There's two or three laps. This will come right down to the wire.
Oh come on! He's almost in draft zone as well. Come on.
It's almost within that draft, exactly right, Toddy. This is coming right down to the wire. Stefan is almost within that second. I think it is a second that you need to be within. And he's in it now. He's in the draft. Is Stefan going to be able to make this move in the next minute and a half? There's going to be one more lap after this, I think. Oh, it's moving. He's been able to catch it. He's able to catch it there. He's almost lost the rear end. He's got to be careful not to overdrive this car. He's got to stay within that second and drive within the limit. And you're exactly right. He's going to have some cold tires. He's got to account for that. Alex is
not going to warm up by the time he gets to the end of this race either. Not properly anyway.
He's dropped back about 5 tenths in that sector alone. There's 2 minutes left to go. They're going to come across the line now, just shortly, and it's going to be on to the final lap. Is Stefan going to be able to gain any time in this final part of the race?
Seems like Alex has got a lot more temperature in those tyres. You never know.
Might be able to pull something up his sleeve as they ground the final couple of corners down the straight. Will we see the white flag from Barney the Flagman? We will.
One more, come on, let's go. Is he going to have enough space to get him on this last lap?
It's a white flag. Confirm, Shibby. Not white flag.
No white flag.
Oh, so there's one more lap. There is one more lap after this. So this is going to come right down to the wire. Will we see Stefan McCartney's dropping back as 7 tenths now out of the draft? Will we see him gain that time back? I don't believe so, but it's been an absolutely incredible battle all race long between these two drivers. They have a lot of respect for each other. They've had some incidents over the season, but they do have a lot of respect for each other. And Alex Court, I think, will drive home with this. I'm not speaking too soon, though, and I'm going to retract that previous statement.
Yep, anything can happen. Anything can happen. I don't know if the fat lady sings, so anything can happen, and you can always see these last couple of laps, people get under pressure. So
I'm not going to celebrate what I was about to celebrate, and don't even look at the stand. I'm not saying what I was going to say. I'll say it once
don't believe that, me.
Across the line.
I see what you're saying, though. I'm picking up what you're putting down here, Dano. Just look down the field a little bit, everybody. We're not saying it too loud, though.
I'm very excited. We're so getting him in here. We are so getting him in here. He's so the driver of the day. It's totally not the driver on screen. Dean Sinkovic. He's put in an excellent drive tonight as he comes through.
Up 3 spots, guys. Up 3 spots.
Sorry, that will be the checkered flag. That was the white flag. So 2 seconds behind is Stefan McCartan. Alex Court taking home your win tonight. A great drive from him and a good pit stop call as well. Robbie Griffiths coming through bomb hole now as it sounds so much like bumhole, it is a very, very weird thing to say as a corner name. As he comes through the final couple of corners, a sweeping right-hander into the left-hander, braking nice and early, and comes along the straight. He will take home P3, and that will be the final podium spot. A good drive from Robbie Griffiths, 30 seconds behind, as a great drive from him.
Very brilliant. For him to slot up he profited from some early other people's mistakes, but he had a very, very consistent drive and just kept his head about him. He was very, very good.
Yeah, good try from all three of them. Nathan Burney coming across the line as we'll cut back to Dean Sinkovich. He goes a little bit wide on the final corner, but he's got 13 seconds to the driver behind. Dean Sinkovich comes home and takes P5. A lovely drive. Beautiful tonight. Very well done, son. And Adam Hughes coming home to bring home P6. Uncharacteristic from him. That's an off round tonight. But what a race it was, Toddy. That battle between Alex and Steph all race long. Absolutely beautiful.
There we had that upset with Scotty Barton there, dropping down to 4 spots. But, mate, those last 3 or 4 laps, bloody hell. The whole race actually was craziness. Those two raced like it was lap 1 every single lap of this race, which was super impressive. I think Stefan was trying to get a little bit of distance between himself and Alex, and that's why he pitted so late. But I think even he might have thought he pitted a bit late too, also maybe. What do you reckon?
Who had the most overtakes? Oh, who's up the most positions?
Who's up the most positions? Dean is, yep. Yeah, Dean is up the most positions, up 3 positions. So very impressive from Dean Sinkovich there. Up 3 positions. He's got to be our driver of the day. He was our driver of the day on Sunday as well, getting a 4th in the Super 2s as well.
Absolutely incredible improvement over the season. We've seen his pace sort of come and go, and it's come up now, and this is really where we've seen that pace really come into play and really get into it. And he's really proved it tonight. So a lovely drive from the boys tonight. We'll just get them in here for an interview as we'll start to get the boys in. So I'll drag Griffo in. G'day, mate.
Hey, Dan.
How are we, boys? So, a good race. I'm just trying to find Stefan for you right now. That was an incredible battle, Alex, with Stefan. That was honestly some of the best racing we've seen all season.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, it's like it's lap 1 all race.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
What's you come away with the win from it, Alex. What did you think of that move when he went up the inside? Do you reckon what was going through your head?
At that point, I thought it was race over. I thought it was a very erratic move, but luckily I didn't get taken out. So
I think the move was definitely on. Personally, I know maybe from a driver's perspective, I know obviously from your perspective it'll be a little bit different. The door was definitely there, but sometimes those moves had to be made. He was chasing you down for a majority of the race, so I think he was getting a little bit frustrated. I'm trying to get him in. I'm not sure where he's gone. He was in here and he sort of disappeared. So I'm trying to find out where he's gone. And we'll get your take on it as well, Griffo. How was that race for you? You sort of found yourself in a little bit of no man's land out in P3, but P3 still P3.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing. Had a run in there with Scotty Barton on about lap 8. Unfortunate, he went wide off the track and came back on and got me right across on the side, but we went through the dip and I've unfortunately drifted well wide and forced him off the track, so ended up with a black flag drive-through penalty, so had to work my way back up from down the field. Wow. Pretty lucky to get back up to P3, so
good drive from all the way back there.
Yeah, so I was happy with the finish, but not really happy with the race. If you get my drift.
Yeah.
Apologies
exactly.
again to Scotty. It certainly wasn't meant.
It's the that was a shit race. Oh, but you finished P3. Yeah, but nah, it was horrible.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really feel great when you ruin someone else's race. So
Yeah.
you know,
It sort of the corner
It-
looked
it-
like
looked
Scotty
to be
didn't
a-
quite see you as well. It kind
to
of
be
looked
a
like you were right in his blind spot. So
yeah, I'm not sure what happened. He came back on the track and went right across over
on the
fence.
record, off the record, I'd maybe protest that one, Griffo, if you can. But
yeah, I'm not passing any judgments.
I don't know. Maybe take another look at it. We'll come to our driver of the day, Dean Sinkovich, mate. What a bloody drive tonight!
Yeah,
How did you find that one? You held off Adam Hughes for a little bit there.
Yeah, not many
Chased
times.
down Nathan Verney as well.
I should have had it. I lost it a couple of times, but I should have got in front of those boys. But yeah, no, P5 I think it was. P5's not too bad. I'm happy with that. Beat Adam.
What
Can't
have
say
you
that.
been eating this week, Dino?
Beat the
You've been eating
championship
something
leader,
different
mate.
or something, or what?
No, I think
You
just
eat Monday night and then tonight, 2 top 5s, mate. You're on fire.
I think things are just falling in place. You know, it's sort of like I'm getting a little bit. You know, so yeah, I don't know.
Feeling the
You've been doing the driver training, haven't you?
No, I haven't actually. I missed out on the driver training. I got the arse end of the driver training. Sorry for the language, but I've got about 5 minutes of it. So, but
Well, that 5 minutes has certainly paid off because that's a brilliant drive that you've done tonight. I will ask you while you're here. We had a rolling start tonight. What was the reason for that?
I think it was just an error. I don't think there was. It was supposed to be a standing start, so it was just an error in the way it was set up. So yeah.
It provided us with an awesome race. You know,
Yeah.
Alex and Stefan battling the whole 30. It was actually more or less half an hour of pure battle. It was incredible, you guys. So I know Stefan is not with us at the moment. Not sure where he popped out to. Maybe just, frustrated with his race. Because sometimes, he does, after a race, you want to cool off a little bit if you're not happy with it. So that might just be what he's done. But, no judgment. That's all right. We're all here to race. And, sometimes that does happen. You don't want to say something wrong on air. So that's all good. As who's joined us here?
Oh,
Someone accidentally, I think.
There he
Hey,
is.
Crash.
Stefan, there we are. Stefan, a good drive from you, mate. You looked to almost have Alex and then you made the move, and unfortunately it just didn't come off. Talk us through the race, the half-hour battle, I suppose, and also why you decided to make the move there, I suppose.
Yeah, the race was pretty good. Like I was pretty much with Adam down the pack a little bit. I was sort of just thinking championship after Robbie got his drive-through penalty there. So I made the move mainly because I was a little bit better better than Alex under brakes, but he was a lot better on accelerating out because he was straightening his exits a bit more. So I just sort of thought I'd make a move there because if I can get the run on the inside, it sort of made me safe down the back straight. Where everywhere else, like turn 2, if you make a move, you sort of have to go side by side through the next corners. So thought I'd throw it in there and see what happened, and unfortunately just pinched the rears and around she went.
As soon as you downshifted, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I pretty much had to slam the gears just to try and pull her up a little bit quicker.
That's what I was saying, Toddy. So yeah, I know exactly your thought process, Stefan. It was, I can make this turn, I can make this move. You hit the downshift mid-turn, and instantly your brain goes, oh shit, and the car goes around.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty good race. Sort of thought I might have had Alex at the end, but I think it was the third to last lap or the lap before I pitted. I went off at the last corner, which cost me a second and a half, and I came out a second and a half behind Alex. So, is what it is. Overall, I go into the last round with the championship lead, so I'm happy.
Well, an incredible drive from you guys, all 4 of you who have brought in here. I'll give it to Alex first to do his sponsors. Once again, congrats on the win, Alex.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Obviously, DSL Welding and Racing with Autism Australia, Corp IT, Dragonrc, Above and Below Stump Grinding, Tree Minded, Mod Tint, ABC Transport, AA Designs, DSL Welding Services, and Racing with Autism Australia. As always, shout out to Gary Bradshaw in New Zealand and all the boys at After Dark Sim Racing for their help, and massive shout out to Scotty for pushing me in practice. And yeah,
We'll hand it over to you, Robbie, actually.
Oh, thanks, mate. Go to P3. No worries. Yeah, thanks to all the fishy boys, as usual, and their sponsors, West End Motor Group, DC Shades, Black Wolf Graphics, Precision Sim Training, and Relax Marine and Game Fishing. And all you guys for putting on the event, SRW and SRW TV boys for the broadcast. Thanks very much.
Oh, thanks for putting on an awesome race, mate. We'll go to Stefan.
Yeah, just shout out to Smoke Studios over in Victoria, Jennifer Russell Real Estate over here in New Zealand, AE Boards in Queensland, and GC Clothing in New Zealand. Thanks, guys. Couldn't do it without you.
Just before we jump to you, Dean, I do want to ask Stefan and Alex, do you reckon that you could almost call yourselves, you have yourself a little Hamilton Verstappen battle for the championship at the moment?
yep.
No.
I was thinking, I was
To be
starting
blunt.
to say,
No, if Alex had been, because I believe Alex missed the first round. If Alex had been here for that, then definitely. But unfortunately, I think he's a little bit too far back in the points unless I DNF. I could be wrong, but that's just what my math brain did.
okay, well then I'll rephrase it then. Would you call yourselves a little Verstappen-Hamilton rivalry that you have going on?
Yeah, well, we always seem to find each other on track, so.
Nah, it's awesome driving to see. I was saying it earlier. It's very much so, with the 44 as well that Alex runs as well. It's and the silver as well. So it's very on the nose a little bit. But we'll go to you, Dean, to give us the SRW sponsors.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Again, thank you, broadcast team, first of all. You guys do a ripper job every week from all different divisions and leagues and so forth. So well done to you both tonight. To the boys, obviously, who finished top three, and Stefan obviously winning, or not winning,
Alex.
the championship.
Still one.
No, as in the championship so far. But I know Alex won tonight, so well done to you guys as well. Yeah, just obviously, all the drivers out there, New Zealand, Australia, well done. Thanks for joining SRW league, and we're obviously going to have lots more happening over the next couple of months and so forth, new things happening. So obviously thanking DSL Welding for our major sponsor, Paul. Thank you very much. Dragonrc and Promo Department, Steve, my brother. So thank all those guys. And cheers. Great racing. Thank you, boys.
Oddy, would you like to take us out?
Sounds awesome. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for coming tonight for the Formula 3s at Snetterton Raceway. There was a lot of action, a lot of close racing, and very, very exciting. I'd like to say on behalf, thank you very much to DSL Welding and Dragonrc, and signing off from Sim Racing World TV on YouTube. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you keep up to date with all our races in a different series across the week. We have the Porsche Cup on Thursday. We have the V8 Supercars on Sundays, both the Super 1s and Super 2s. And then also we have Saturday Night Mayhem, which is a bit different. Explicit language warning for Saturday nights. But come and see the action as well and have some fun if you're into iRacing as well. So we'd love to see you.